It's Monday morning and we are back fault finding again. Another interesting one. So this one we had a lighting circuit on the middle floor that had the hallway light that was working, yet the lights at both ends of the house and the bathroom weren't working. So as usual, first things first, dust sheets out and then start taking down the light fittings to actually test for voltages and things. All three of the fittings were completely dead, nothing at them at all, yet the hallway one was very much live. I had to confirm it was definitely all on the same circuit, but it was, so we carried on and started looking at further problems. The connections all look a little bit ropey, and I wanted to be sure that it definitely wasn't a problem within the cabling itself, because just moving the blocks around, nothing happened. So the next step for us normally is to take apart all the cables and start just testing between, so I wanted to get a map out of how the circuit was actually run as to why the lights at both ends of the house weren't working. So I separated all the cabling. Thankfully the switch lines were already labelled, so it was just a case of working out what fed what. A few continuity tests and then jumped over to insulation just to make sure that the cables themselves weren't also faulty or had a break in them anywhere. A break in the cable was my initial thought, so I ruled that one out too. Once I found my supply cable and I knew all my other cables were clear and weren't going to have any faults on them, I started connecting them all back together myself using new Wagos and stripped them all back properly. It turns out the hallway light had a loose live that was going to the bedroom fitting, and the bedroom fitting had a loose neutral, so whichever one I tested it at the time, it wasn't quite making sense. Thankfully we found it, and everything came back on no problem once it was all re-terminated properly. Also had a quick check of the fuse board connections just to be sure of that as well. Once that was done, everything was on and we were all good again. Then it was time for tools away, the usual tidy up, and we were all back and done. Another fault find done to start the week. Follow us for more.